Hey, it's Peter here.
And Sal.
Okay, and today we are talking about routines and how routines can help create some level of consistency when it comes to exercise. So, did you know that exercising regularly after the age of 50 can help reduce the risk of up to 40 different chronic diseases, such as heart disease and type 2 diabetes, just to name a few? And the wonderful thing is, it is never too late to start your exercise routine. So I know that we're talking about routines, and I know that that can be a very, very boring topic, but routines help you create some type of structure, predictability into your daily life. And I think it also helps you create that level of consistent habits and behaviors so they become more automated, I think, Sal, would you say? Yeah, become more
Yeah,
automated. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And what that means is when they become more automated, you're not having to think about them as much. So, which means it's not such a chore to get it done. And I think what happens is when you create that routine and that level of consistency, what happens is that means that you're focused on your commitment to your goals and the schedules that you've got throughout the day. And I think it
Mm,
gives you a sense of control as well too.
yeah,
You feel a bit more
absolutely.
organized, don't you?
Organized, yeah. You know that this is happening on this day and there's no compromise to it.
Mm,
So don't compromise on it when you set that routine up. If you have people coming to you, um, oh, can we just do this? Or can we just do that? If you have that routine in place, you can say no.
mm.
I've already got plans.
Yeah, and I think what happens is when we go to start an exercise program, we'll go in all guns are blazing as such. And so what we'll do is we'll make it massive as well too. So I think what's important here is to bring it down to a smaller level. So I'm going to get to that in a sec because I mean, the standard things when it comes to creating a routine are going to be, set a goal. What is it that you want to achieve? Start small, choose something you like. And of course, I'm going to say no, not to choose something you like. Schedule it in, get an accountability partner. So, they're the standard steps that you go through. But I think what I wanted to explore today, Sel, was this concept of mini or micro routines, because I think that's important because when life happens, life does happen to us all, it derails us from being consistent with that exercise routine when it's too big. And so if you can create your mini routines, your smaller routines, it doesn't matter what's happening in life, you're going to get it done.
Absolutely. And I think it's important to say too that if you are starting out,
Yeah.
even when even if you've got that routine set up already and you've been doing it for months or years or whatever, it's important to say that I think a lot of people, if they don't get it done, if it's been scheduled in, they don't get it done, the first person they're beating up is themselves.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
they're internally yelling at themselves because I didn't get my workout done. I'm so angry and I should have had it done.
Mm,
Um, but when you have those little micro workouts, as you said, um,
yeah.
you can get them done because they're only tiny amounts of time that you need during the day. So
Mm.
if a curveball is thrown at you, you're getting them done.
Yeah. Look, I know for me, Sal, that, I will, Paul's been in and out of hospital over the years and everything like that. And so I know that I'm spending a lot of time there. My routine that I normally have is interrupted, but I have these micro routines, so I'm going to park further away rather than taking the lift up for those five floors I've got to go up. I'm walking up it, you know, and I'm taking 2 steps at a time. So I'm actually doing something that slightly helps, you know, my health, my well-being, the fitness routine that I have. You know, or whilst I'm waiting for him to come up from surgery, I might be sitting in the waiting room doing a stretching routine or something. And of course, I'm not one to worry about what people think of me when I'm standing there doing something, you know, idiotic they might think it is, you know, but because it is about me taking care of myself. And and sometimes you encourage other people to join in with you. So you never know.
Someone might start stretching with you.
Yeah, exactly. I've had that happen before. How did you do that? So I think the first thing is, like, you know what that bigger task is. You know that you want to be fitter, you want to be stronger. So how can you take that big task and break it down into something smaller? So it could be that you might go, well, I'm just going to do push-ups and squats as an example, because therefore I'm going to be working on my strength. Or it could be I'm going to do jumping jacks because I want to increase my heart rate. So, you know, you're taking that big thing and going, well, what's the smaller aspect of that I can do that's going to fit into that, you know, 1 5-10 minute time frame that I have. So you're identifying that big task, but you're breaking it down into the smaller steps that you can take.
Yeah. And, you know, we have our Fit in 5 program. Our Fit in 5 guide, and the concept is, you know, every 5 minutes on the hour you do something. So if you do have a strength program, or if you know, run for 40 minutes a day, or 40, you know, you can break that 40 minutes down to 5 minutes every hour, you know, and at the end of the day you've got your 40-minute run-in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or your,
you know,
40 minutes of strength training.
Yeah, like I have a target of that I'm going to do 15,000 steps minimum every day, right? That's just my target. I don't do that 15,000. Well, sometimes I do that 15,000 in one hit, but most of the time I'm not. So I'm breaking that down into what I call the wake up and warm up. So I get out of bed. I just go outside. I don't even put, you know, my normal shoes on. I just go outside. Sometimes it's bare feet. Sometimes I put thongs on, and I'll just walk for, you know, maybe 15-20 minutes. That's just me warming up, waking up my body, you know, embracing the day. That's how I re-energize myself. You know, that's how I get committed to the day. It works for me. It's not the 10,000 steps, but then I come in and I do a workout, or I run a training session with the ladies. And then from there, you know, I'll go back out and do a few more steps afterwards, type of thing. So, you know, during the day, it's probably broken into 3 as a general rule, if I've not done it in one whole go.
Yeah. And, you know, you can do that with, if you do have a program, a weights program that you're doing at home, you can apply it there too, you know. So if it's an upper body workout that you're doing, you know, 5 minutes on the hour, it might be bicep curls. The next hour might be shoulder presses, you know, and you're getting that strength training in, you're getting that workout in that, you know, otherwise that day might seem, oh, it's so big, I'm not going to get it done.
Yeah. And it's like every time you go to the bathroom, throw something in then. Do something.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be big. If you boil in the kettle to make a cup of tea or coffee, you know, do something while that kettle's boiling. That's a 2 to 3 minute window you got there. And if you're having a few cups of tea, that's a fair swag of exercise during the course of the day as well too. Yeah. And I think it's important just to also like review and keep adjusting things as well. So you're not just doing the same thing day in, day out. So what you're doing is you're going, okay, I'm going to make these micro commitments to myself. And so that I've got these mini little routines that I'm doing, but you want to have a variety of them. It's just like, you know, on a farm, you know, you don't plant the crops in the same place all the time. You've got to allow the field to replenish. So, and it's exactly the same. We don't do the same thing with our body. If we eat the same thing day in, day out, we're not giving our body all the nutrients that it needs, and it doesn't replenish, and it's not going to be effective for us. Same thing applies to exercise. If I'm doing the same thing day in, day out, I'm putting myself more and more at risk all the time. And what I want to do is mix it up. And that applies to, these micro commitments as well.
Mm. I think it's important to say too is think about where you are. So don't compare what you were doing 20 years ago.
Yeah.
This is especially if you're starting out and you're starting this new routine. Don't keep thinking back to 20 years ago when you were doing, was it 30 years ago now? I don't know.
30.
When you were in the gym jumping around in your leotard doing an aerobics class, you could do that for 45 minutes. Think about where you are now and what exercises are going to benefit you now. So your routine is, what's the word I'm trying to use? So your routine is of value to you.
Yeah, we're all I get what you're saying. I know, like for me, I hadn't done a Zumba session. Like, I'm a Zumba instructor, as you know, and I haven't done a Zumba session for years. I pulled out some of my DVDs just recently, and I was in there. I did an hour Zumba session, and I've gone, wacko! This was so much fun, and I had forgotten how much fun was associated with them, Sal. And it really has given me that lift to actually do more and work out harder. So it was exactly what I needed. But, I could have simply just started by doing one dance.
Yeah.
It could have been a mini dance, so it wouldn't have mattered what it was. And I think that's the important thing is when we allow ourselves to not beat ourselves up when we're not doing something that is the expectation of, an hour session or a 30-minute session, that we allow ourselves that grace to go, I've done something, I've done 5 minutes today, I've done 10 minutes today. So I'm super proud of myself, and what I'm doing there is I'm creating that sense of routine and stability in my daily life, and I am still in control of what I'm doing. I haven't lost, all focus and motivation on it.
Yeah.
Final tip, Sal? Got a final tip for us?
As always, anything is better than nothing at all.
Oh, perfect tip to finish up on. Thanks for joining me, Sal. Thanks for joining us, ladies.
Bye.
We'll see you all soon. Bye.